Beverly Hills Cop AXEL F is here, so cue up that theme music. After his run-in with George Lucas and a whole amusement park full of henchmen, Foley is back on the big screen after a 30-year hiatus. So in this video, I'm going to be pointing out some of the Easter eggs, references, and things you may have missed in this legacy sequel. To be honest, I was going to do a full breakdown, ending explained, all of that jazz, but yeah, this movie is really straightforward. You don't need that, I don't need that. But Easter eggs, well, that's a different story, so grab your gun and badge and let's get into Beverly Hills Cop AXEL F. Kicking things off, the opening radio station DJ states his name is Bushman.
Hey, what's up, Detroit? It's your boy, the Bushman, and it's another balmy day here in the D.
This being the longtime WJLB FM 97.9 host of The Bushman Show from Detroit. This radio station is further featured on Foley's t-shirts throughout a majority of the film. Of course, Foley has a history of stealing obscure vehicles during his police shenanigans, and AXEL F being no different, with Foley stealing not only a golf cart, meter-maid three-wheeler, and helicopter, but also the opening snowplow pursuit shares a lot of DNA from the openings of other Beverly Hills Cop movies. The opening Deal Gone Wrong truck chase from the original film, and of course Bob Seger's shakedown from the opening Beverly Hills Cop 2 montage. Heck, even the scenes showcasing Detroit in the opening and when Foley heads back to Beverly Hills, these montages are similar, but interesting to see how much has kind of changed, specifically what high-class name brands have survived 40 years since the original. Sequels mean returning characters, as Foley's buddy Jeffrey Friedman is back in the Detroit Police Department, Surge makes a wonderful and stylish return, Taggart is out of retirement. I guess not Easter eggs, but more of a, yay, these characters are back. But in Jeffrey's office, there is a picture of Inspector Douglas Todd, who was killed off in Beverly Hills Cop 3. Inspector Todd was played by Gilbert Hill, who unfortunately passed away in 2016 and wasn't actually a trained actor. He instead worked through the Detroit Police Department, and then when they were scouting locations for the original Beverly Hills Cop, the director liked him, offered the role, and the rest is history. Comedian cameos have been a tradition through these Beverly Hills Cop films. Damon Wayans was the Banana Man in the first film, Chris Rock as the valet in the second, and Affion Crockett as the country club valet here in AXEL F. Foley continues tradition, still driving his 1970 Chevy Nova in the opening Detroit scenes. It must really be his favorite car, because later when we get a quick glance at Jane Saunter's driver's license, her middle name is Nova, so the more you know. Other car homages are the 1982 Bronco Foley rents in Beverly Hills, having a similar paint job to his Chevy Nova. And later, when Jane and Foley park in front of the fictional Beverly Palm Hotel, the same from the original film, they pull up in a red convertible, similar to Foley and Jenny in the 1984 film. When investigating Billy's office, there's similar decor around the room that was in Billy's apartment in Beverly Hills Cop 2, specifically the Rambo poster, which, if you didn't know, Stallone was originally supposed to play Axel Foley, with the script having very little fun and humor, of which was actually morphed into the less than iconic 1986 Cobra movie. And in almost every Beverly Hills Cop movie, man, that is hard to say, some subtle visual or dialogue is there to take a shot at Stallone and Cobra.
I am trying to tell you, I sell 10 of these to Jackie Stallone for stocking stuffers.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sly come in and bought 14.
The Pointer Sisters classic Neutron Dance is featured when Foley steals the meter-maid vehicle, the same song that set the tone of the original movie with the opening truck chase. There's a bevy of photos from previous Beverly Hills Cop movies when Detective Bobby Abbott is looking through Foley's file, even listing off the dates of the previous movies and poking fun at the third movie for being the worst with a rough 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Honestly though, growing up, this one was my favorite.
Various shootouts, evading the police. This is from '84. Then there's one from '87. And then 94, not your finest hour.
Taggart.
There are a lot of subtle nods and dialogue references to previous movies, like Foley heading into the Eastern Social Club and putting on a big show to trick the doorman. He does this in almost every other movie. Foley meeting with Grant the first time at the Social Club mirrors his meeting with the villain from the original, Victor Maitland. Billy says you can never have too much firepower right before the final showdown, something that he does in the second movie right before the final battle.
What the hell is this?
Never have too much firepower.
Can never have too much firepower.
Billy also offhandedly mentions a strip club to Detective Abbott, a reference to Foley taking Billy and Taggart there in the first movie where they bust some criminals. Taggart rocks a shotgun in the final scenes, something again is mirrored from the finale of the original movie, and has Billy trying to politely ask the criminals to drop their weapons, something that he has still not learned after 40 years of police work.
Police! You're all under arrest! Drop your weapons!
Jesus Christ, some things never change.
As for Foley, he's rocking the same Detroit Lions varsity jacket from the previous films, his iconic Adidas Sambas, as everything comes to a nice reunion in the back of Taggart and Billy's car, mirroring that of the first movie when they are staking out Foley at the hotel. And of course, things end with the traditional freeze frame smile to the camera finish.
Trust me. This is gonna be fantastic. Trust me.
That is all the small, big, subtle, in-your-face Easter eggs, references, and other things I was able to find in the latest Beverly Hills Cop AXEL F. Oh, and the golfer that they steal the cart from, this has got to be an inside joke of him being Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore, right? He's complaining about having to hit the ball where it lies, saying that there's a mess in front of him because of the helicopter crash, something he forced old Adam Sandler to do in Happy Gilmore. I'm saying that's what I'm going for here, but please correct me if I am wrong in the comments. Anyway, I had a fun time with AXEL F. Not the best legacy sequel out there, but hey, it was a heck of a lot better than I anticipated. I had a good time with it. It was fun. Let me know in the comments, though, your thoughts on AXEL F. What is your favorite Beverly Hills Cop movie? Did we miss any major Easter eggs or references? Let me know anything and everything in the comments below. Enjoy your 4th of July holiday weekend shenanigans. Stay safe. Thank you for stopping by, supporting the channel. Please subscribe, all of that jazz, because yeah, I appreciate you, and you help me to keep this going. Okay, cool, neato. That's all I got. Bye-bye.